good afternoon, everybody. I'm definitely excited about this upcoming season. Training camp went very well. I was really pleased with the mindset and the attitude coming in. We wanted to attack 2017 and start in January. And then, like I said, fall camp went really well. The theme that I wanted to bring forth to our defensive unit was fire. I wanted us to play with fire this year. And what I mean by that, I want to play fast, want to play intelligent, want to play relentless, and want to play efficient. Last year, at times we did not do that, especially in the run game. And I challenged our guys that this year we have to get that done. And I do feel like our guys have put forth the right effort to get that done. But also I want to attack them off the field this year, to have fire, to be a light. You know, Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 says, "We are the light of the world, a city that sits on the hill." And I challenged our guys in camp, especially this past Friday before school started, that I wanted you to be a light on campus. You got the platform. Everybody knows as an athlete in all sports, we're blessed to have a platform. And I challenged them to do it the right way. So with fire, I want them to have faith. I also want them to live with integrity, do the right thing, have respect for the people on this campus and the community as representing Liberty University. And I wanted them to pursue excellence. And, I'm real excited with that. All of them had a good look about it. Text some of the young men this morning and yesterday, and, they're saying, "Coach, it's about fire this year." So, not just on the field, but off the field, we want to be a burning light and do it in a positive way. And talking about Baylor, I had the opportunity to coach against Matt Rule in 2009 when I was at Kansas. No, not Kansas, Buffalo. A long time ago, 2009 at Buffalo. And, one thing I could say about Coach Rule, I remember his he was offensive coordinator at the time, and physical, a very physical offense. They did a great job in executing their offense. And, they did not make a lot of mistakes. And so I know going against his team, they're gonna be physical. They're going to execute well. They're not going to beat themselves. And so really I challenged our young men that we're going to have to do a good job executing our defense, making sure we're aligned and assigned, making sure that we communicate very well so we can put forth a great effort. At this time, I'll take any questions.
Baylor's offenses of the past have been, up-tempo, helter-skelter. Do you think they're going to try to slow it down a bit from what you've seen from what he ran at Temple and maybe based on the personnel Baylor has right now?
Well, I think at Temple he did a little bit of both. So, we're going to try to prepare ourselves for both. That's what we've been doing so far in training camp. Our offense does a great job with the high-tempo offense that they utilize, and they slow it down quite a bit too. So, we watched a lot of Temple film, and that's really all we have. He brought in a new offensive coordinator, and Coach Nixon. He was previously at San Francisco. Right now it's going to be really a guessing game a little bit of who they're going to be and who their identity is going to be. You look at Temple, smash mouth football. They want to run the ball. I told our young men, at the end of the day, they want to take your will, just run the ball right over you. And last year, that was a deficiency for us. And so, I think we're really excited about the challenge.
Is it a little bit similar to last year when you were getting ready for Virginia Tech with Fuente coming in first game?
Actually, it's a little more difficult, Nick, just because with Fuente, you knew it was going to be his offense. You knew from Memphis they had a lot of success there. He brought his offensive coordinator with him, and so you kind of knew their identity right away. And it showed true when we played Virginia Tech. This program, with Rule bringing in Nixon as his play caller, you really don't know the identity, because like I said, he was at San Fran, and they had a little different identity in compared to Temple. But we're going to find out Saturday, what attitude they're really going to bring. I do know they're going to be physical. Even when you hear Coach Nixon in their interviews, you can tell that he has a similar mindset. They were both are very close friends. They went to Penn State together. They got a lot of history together. So you know that Rule would not hire somebody that didn't have his mindset. And like I said, playing against them in 2009, you know that they want to be physical.
What's your, I guess, biggest concern defensively, something that you have to do in order to win this football game?
We got to do a good job against the run. I mean, like I said, last year that was a very disappointing stat for us. We gave up over 200 yards a game. You know, a lot of factors play into that, but at the end of the day, I take it upon myself to make sure that we get that corrected. I feel very good that our young men have made an effort. And starting back in February when we addressed the issues, and I told them about accountability. And we always got to remember, accountability, I'm not attacking your identity. I'm not attacking the person. I'm trying to address the issue. And I've been telling my young men that since February. You got to realize what accountability is. And so I think that they really took that delight to realize that we as a coaching staff was not trying to call them out, was not trying to embarrass them, not trying to say you can't do it, but we got to address the issues of why we did not do a good job last year against the run. And for this 5 years I've been here previously, we've been pretty decent against the run. So we understand we have to do a better job, because if you can't stop the run, at the end of the day, you may win some games, but you're not going to win the games you really need to win. And that what happened to us last year defensively.
With Jalen McKinney and Chris Turner both sitting out the first half, what did you see in Lucas Irons and Malik Matthews to elevate them to starting positions? And who's going to be the fourth corner that you're going to utilize in the first half?
Well, I'll tell you, man, Jalen McKinney, Malik Matthews, both, and Lucas Irons really had a great camp. And, of course, you know, McKinney had the situation with Coastal Carolina last year, and so he has to carry out that situation there. But Lucas Irons had a great camp. I mean, you know, he missed spring, but, you know, he's been in our system for 4 years. So he has a lot of experience in playing our defense. And then when you look at, like I said, Malik Matthews, he made a great jump from his redshirt freshman year to his redshirt sophomore year. And normally that's what you count on, is then after 2 years, 3 years in a program, you can see a young man make a jump because he understands the scheme. So I'm really excited for those two. Of course, you know, Chris Turner and Jalen not being able to play the first half is always disappointing, but, you know, our philosophy is next man up because we got to prepare whoever's going to play.
Who would be that fourth corner?
Fourth corner is probably going to be we got Jimmy Falk's third corner right now, so it'll be Kamani Donaldson. And I'm going to tell you, this young man surprised me. I actually apologize to the young man because at the end of the day, when we made that transition to FBS, of course, you're kind of saying, looking at your recruits and you're saying, oh, who can really help us in 2018, 2019, and not saying that I was disappointed that we had him signed, but at that time it was the FCS program. And so, you know, I'm a transparent person. I told him after watching him the first week of practice, son, you can play at the FBS level. And he plays hard. He's physical. He does a great job getting his hands on receivers. And Coach Roberts has done a great job in teaching him our scheme. So I promise you that'll be a name years to come. You're going to be excited that he's a part of our program.
Your four starters on the defensive line have a fair amount of experience behind them, a lot of inexperience. Is that something that causes you concern as you get prepared to go up against a Big 12 opponent?
And I'm being very honest when I say this. I'm not concerned because I got Coach Vance Singletary. I just his ability to get guys better is just remarkable. You know, he's proven it over and over again. I think he's made me a better coach. He's made Coach Bookbinder a better coach, Coach Marshall Roberts, just to know that he can develop anybody. You know, last year he took a young man that came over from offense in 3 days and played against Coastal. And now he's on the defense side of the ball. But, I mean, God has given him a gift to be able to develop talent, and he's doing that behind right now with some of our young guys. I mean, Ralph Rusin has made great strides. Elijah Mitchell has made great strides. So those young men are getting better, and J.R. Sanders has come on the scene to where, you know, we feel very good. But like I said, Coach Singletary is gifted. God has blessed him, and I'm excited to watch those guys get after it on Saturday.
What's your impressions of the personnel that Baylor has with the tape that you've seen on them, Zach Smith, you know, what little bit you've been able to see?
A lot of talent. A lot of talent. You know, I think Coach Rule has inherited a plethora of talent there. Like you just mentioned, Zach Smith. Watching his film from last year when he, you know, at Baylor led him to a bowl game. Very, very great poise. He's a poised athlete. He makes good decisions. But then they brought in a new Solomon, a transfer from Arizona. And so I had the opportunity to watch his film. I went back and watched all the Arizona film that he played in. Man, he's a special talent. He knows how to create, keep the ball alive. He does a good job of escaping pressure. So those two quarterbacks, to my knowledge, he hasn't named a starter, and I probably understand why, because you got two talented quarterbacks that both can probably help you win football games. Running back, you know, you got Jermichael Hasty. He's very special with the ball in his hand. And then they got a freshman out of New Jersey, the great state of New Jersey, as Coach Daly would say, that love it. Man, you know, we watched his high school film, and once again, they've done a great job of recruiting him out of New Jersey. And then I think everybody knows that receiver pool is very talented. I can name 7 guys that can go get the football at a high level. And so we know at the end of the day we got our hands full, but we know we're up for the challenge. I think that's the great thing about playing this game of football, is that if you love to compete, just like in any sport, you know, it's a challenge. You thrive on that. You wanna achieve it. You want to put forth your best effort and see what you can do. And so we're excited about the opportunity. But yeah, they're very talented.